there's this struggle that every believer faces, right? There's this struggle between trying to take matters into your own hands and do as much as you can to fix the situation or to create a solution, versus just resting and trusting in God. And now, resting and trusting doesn't mean you do nothing. There's still, in every situation, there's still our part to play. But when I look back on like every breakthrough that I've had in my life, or every time I felt like I was stuck or I didn't know, how the solution was going to come, everything that I tried to do in my own effort just didn't seem to produce any results. And then when I just trusted and waited on God, the appropriate solution just came to me. When I've got relationship testimonies about that. I've got provision, job, financial testimonies regarding that. There's just something about, that Hebrews 4 Sabbath rest where it talks about, I know it's a different context, but I believe it's still applicable, where it says, those who have entered God's rest have ceased from their works. And I know it's primarily talking about, salvation and righteousness, right? But I believe that principle can still apply to most areas, if not all areas of our life, where literally it's like trusting God for the solution and just releasing the burden. You can actually feel a physiological change inside you, whether it's in your heart, in your gut. I'm not sure where it is, but you can actually feel a physiological change when you give up control of a situation, when you surrender, when you're like, God, I don't know how I'm going to fix this situation, or I don't know how I'm going to create a solution to this situation, but I'm putting my faith in you, and I know you're going to bring the solution. You're going to, whether it's a creative idea that you need, whether it's an external solution that needs to come your way, whatever it is, when you just choose to go about your life just praising God, remaining joyful, remaining thankful, trusting that He's going to provide the answer, it just seems to always come in God's perfect timing. And again, I'm not saying that in general we just do nothing and coast through life. That's a whole separate topic about the difference between what's our responsibility and what's God's responsibility. And He still has good works prepared for us to do. But yeah, I'm talking specifically when you're faced with a challenge, when there seems to be an obstacle, when there seems to be a breakthrough that's needed of some sort. There's just something so peaceful and so strong and joyful about releasing it into God's hands, trusting Him with the outcome. You still stay aware for potential opportunities that might come your way. You still stay open-minded that God could bring the solution through any different way, and you remain expectant that it's coming, but not in a striving works mentality where you're trying to produce the outcome and trying to, make things work and, manipulate situations and whatever to try and work out in your favor. It's not through that. It's just, if there's a part that you have to play, it's through the light and easy yoke. It's just trusting Him and surrendering control. And I believe 99% of our breakthroughs come that way. The biggest part we have to play is trusting God and giving thanks. That's the biggest part I believe we have to play. Like remaining joyful, remaining trusting. Because if you're stressed out, worried, concerned, then you're not really operating in trust and faith, are you? You can say, God, I surrender this to you. God, I trust you. But then if you spend the whole rest of the day just worrying and concerned about how it's going to come to pass, you're not really operating in faith and rest and trust, and it's just revealing the condition of your heart. I'm not saying you should feel condemned about it or judged about it, or as if God's not going to help you or take care of you if you feel that way. But it reveals the condition of your heart. And I just want to encourage you, if you are in a situation where you feel like you're stuck, you feel like a breakthrough is needed, otherwise you don't know what's going to happen, like truly just surrender it to God. He knows all your needs and your wants. And I believe if you release it to Him, you can go on doing what's in your control, living your life, but in full faith, joy, trust. You have permission to live your life with joy and with happiness, even in the middle of trials, even in the middle of waiting for, the perfect solution to come your way, which I believe God will bring. And sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes I believe the delay between the solution coming is an opportunity to grow your faith and your trust in God. And then when the next thing happens that you need a breakthrough for, you won't stress and worry as much, because you'll remember, hang on. It's like that psalm that says about God. It says, in you our ancestors put their hope and their trust, and they weren't put to shame. I love that psalm. It's like, it's the same God that Abraham put his trust in, the same God that Moses put his trust in and his hope in. It's the same God that we put our hope and our trust in. So if He didn't fail them, He's not going to fail us. So yeah, hope that encourages someone out there. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next one.